Morning, Piggy.
Good morning. Good morning. How you be this morning? Well, folks, I was going to do a video last night. I was going to show y'all my little case of rotary tool stuff. I'm going to get it out, and I'm going to see about getting some designs, and maybe working on a little bit of wood. Give me something a little extra to do besides crochet.
Yeah.
Well, one of my kitties was laying up on my table that I had it on, and I had some packets of sandpaper laying up there, and she was laying on the sandpaper. She went to move around. She's too close to the edge, and the sandpaper let her slide right on off. She went to grabbing and clawing, and she grabbed that case with her claws, pulled it right on off into the floor with her. That's why I was sitting there trying to organize my tools what best way I could last night while Pooch was doing his live and everything. I got to looking at it and said, well, it looks pretty poorly. I might go to Harbor Freight and see about getting a restock, doing something different with all that. And so I have a little bit better something to work with and everything. So that was a little bit of excitement, and that got me a little bit more than aggravated there for a minute. So that's why we just talking and riding this morning. We're going to go fill the tank up. So we got a full tank for all that coal that's supposed to be coming.
Yeah, this is our last day for this week as far as being out and about. This is...
Yeah, that daycare, adult daycare, they're going to shut it down tomorrow since it's going to be near the holidays and that real cold blast is supposed to be coming. I was looking at the weather this morning. It's saying that our region down here could get wind chills possibly up to 20 below. Or I should say down to 20 below. We ain't had weather that cold since 2013.
Yeah, we remember that year very well. We had to be out and about in that for my chemo treatments.
Yep.
And then my radiation treatments.
Both of us sporting bald heads. Me, because I shaved mine to be in support of her because she had no choice but to be bald because of the chemo.
Took the hair off my head and off my eyebrows, my eyelashes. They were all gone.
Yep. And, yeah, so we got through that. But it's been almost 10 years and we're fixing to get blasted again. But hopefully it won't last as long as it did that year. That's what, about a good week that year?
At least, yeah. If not, I mean, it felt like to me it was longer than that, but it could have just been a week.
Yeah. So we'll be going to get some gas. We're going to go get a couple of things from the grocery store so that she can do a few dishes over the weekend. Prepare for our little outing that we got to go to.
Yeah, I got to get stuff to make a lemonberry crisp. I asked Piggy what kind of dessert he wanted me to take to his mom's, and we decided on that. It was either going to be a banana pudding or an oatmeal cake with peanut butter icing or the lemonberry crisp. But
yeah. We're sitting almost on the quarter mark on the gas. Part of me wants to say that's about where we should be, but part of me is thinking, maybe we got a little bit more took out of the tank because, we pretty sure we got a little gas dealer
in the area.
Nearby.
Yeah, in the area.
And they've been coming getting 2 or 3 gallons every so often because what I wind up missing, I compare what I have the next day to what I had the previous day, and the difference is probably about 2 to 3 gallons, from what I can tell on the gas needle. So, and I'm kind of thinking they might have got a little bit more last night because it's a little bit further down than I thought it should be. It might be about right where it's supposed to be, but but turn of the year, we're going to see about solving that problem. We're going to get us a lock and gas cap put on it. Now, I have thought about taking and getting a big board and putting a bunch of nails in it. Not real close together, far enough apart where somebody stepped on it, something's going in. You have a bunch of them close together, it'd be like a bed of nails. The surface area would cause it from going all the way in. But we got them spread out enough. Something's going in, something. I've thought about doing that. And I might still.
Told me I'll do what my stepdad used to do to deter the dogs from the trash can. Get a metal grate and hook a battery charger to it and flip it on. And
light up their life.
That's it.
But I could also see, especially in this day and age, I could see that little liberal, not really liberal, he's just a little weak-minded, entitled-minded little something that thinks he's owed whatever he wants. And
yeah, I have to say, we know some liberal people that have liberal viewpoints, and they are actually really good people.
Yes, I can't really say liberal.
They're entitled.
They're entitled.
Yeah,
we know some liberal folks. They are not entitled minded.
No, they work hard for everything they have and expect others to work hard for what they have.
That's it.
And just because they have a few viewpoints on the liberal side of things.
Well, on that note, what I say is this.
Yeah.
We all want what's best for this country. We just have different opinions on how we should get there.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be any cause for a bunch of hate being thrown around other people that, for their viewpoints.
That's it.
Now, if you can show me factually, how something would work, but now, I expect the same in return.
Right.
I show you how it works. And there are a few basics that can be covered and all that. But anyway, enough of all that. I don't like politics. I got out of that game. And folks, here's the reason why. I was in that game for a while, and ain't nobody listening. And that's not just on the other side of the aisle, that's on both sides of the aisle. And then I sat back and looked at it. Dang, well, all them politicians, they all working together, both sides of the aisle, but they just putting on a show for the American public. They all want to bend you over and do the do. They don't care, but they think we're stupid enough to fall for the show they're putting on. And sad to say, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It ain't about who's done what, who's doing what. All them fellers up there and ladies up there are doing stuff that we'd all get put under the prison for. But at the same time, they've got people bamboozled into thinking that they're really fighting for them. No, they ain't. They fighting for themselves and the elites. Every last one of them. And they think we're stupid enough to fall for it. Well, a lot of people are. They ain't got time to look into it and sit back and look at it. They used to be one of them dogs up there I really liked. I thought, boy, he's a real bulldog. Look at the things he'd say, the way he'd tell them, oh, yeah, tear him up, tear him up. Well, he was all bark, no bite. And he finally got out the game and went back to a private practice. I'm like, they all playing us for fools. Yeah, so I decided to get out of it. What's going to be is going to be. God's already got it decided anyhow. And I got thinking about that. I'm like, what am I fighting? Obviously, that's what's going to happen at the end. And everything is designed to make things go that way. You know, God's word said that he sets the kings in place and he takes the kings down. So he already knows who's going to be what, according to how we act. And, you know, everybody is turned, well, not everybody, but a lot of folks are turned away from God. God says, okay, y'all get what y'all think y'all want. So we've got what we see today, and it's probably going to get worse. We might get a little bit of a reprieve, but it's not going to get much, if any better, because it's already decided. So I thought to myself, ultimately, in the end, trying to fight for this thing, I'm fighting God, not man or woman or anything else. I'm fighting God's will, God's plan. Well, there ain't no sense in that. What's going to be is going to be. You know. So I'll sit back and I will enjoy people that act right anyway. You know, you treat me like a decent human being, I'll do the same.
That's it. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and you tend to get good results.
Right?
But
I don't care what your past is. I don't care what your philosophies are. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what your opinions are. You know, that's your life. And whatever is in your life, that's between you and God, just like what's in mine is between me and God. You know, in the meantime, I can enjoy who you are.
that's it.
Yeah, and I enjoy listening to other views as long as they're valid, realistic, and logical.
Not entitled.
Not entitled.
Because ain't none of us entitled to anything.
But, you know, as long as it's like that, you know, we can get along. And everything. You know, so I got out of that game. That's what it is. It's a game. And it ain't worth playing. The outcome's already decided.
Most we know about what's going on politically nowadays is basically who's running for office, and even then we have to look to see who's running for office, but we don't know.
The most I'll do, I was going to say another reason I got out of the game is because I left Facebook for a while. I was going to go to another platform, so, you know, that we wouldn't have to worry about being censored for saying what we had on our minds. And all the ones that was talking about doing it, there was one that went to it and left Facebook solid. Left it all together.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do a whole lot of chest thumping about it. He just did it. The rest of them is thumping their chest. Yeah, we're going to do this, make Facebook suffer, and, you know, teach Facebook a lesson, get people to come over here so Facebook can get in line. You know. Well, I went to that platform. I got off Facebook. I did it. You know. I couldn't hardly find most of the rest of them, except every once in a rare while. And it was because they were still on Facebook. I confronted a few. Well, I got a daughter this, grandchild that.
Well, we'll get it for $2.48 this
You
morning.
know, that don't come over here. I'm like, you know what? You do all that chest thumping about what you going to do if the fecal material hit the
pan.
circling blades. But if you ain't willing to sacrifice that little bit to do something as far as the social media platforms go, you ain't gonna do a dang thing when it hits the fan. And I know it. And you know it. You just talking a bunch of bull. You ain't gonna do crap. Well, I did it.
I'll just not go get gas.
And, you know, I was like, hey, let's do this. All these others, they talking all this crap. I found out real quick, they ain't got the heart or the stomach for it. Because they weren't willing to sacrifice that little bit. Now, I understand, you know, familial ties and all like that, and not wanting to give up this or that, you know. But, folks, when you're going to make a stand for something, you're going to make sacrifices. Even family. You know, you got to sacrifice what you got to sacrifice in order to make a stand to do what you feel needs to be done. And if you feel like you got to make that stand, I'll stand with you if it's as long as it's for what's right. But if you're going to blow a lot of hot air and you ain't got the heart or the stomach to go all out on a little bit, I ain't going to be there for you. You know, it's because it ain't worth it. Because I'll be stuck out there on the far end of that branch and be looking around for the rest of you to kind of, you know, hold me there while I do what my part of it. I'm going to wind up falling to the ground because y'all ain't going to be there. You know, be true or shut up. You know, so that's why I got away from a lot of that. And then ultimately, Elaine and I wound up coming back to Facebook because she decided she wanted to do a YouTube. And we thought, well, Facebook is a necessary evil to help with that. So we went back to Facebook. Lo and behold, there's all those folks that used to blow that hot air about, oh, I'm going to chest thumping, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know, now you ain't. You talking a lot of trash and trying to sound bad, but you ain't bad. Because those who are bad and will do the do, they don't talk about it. They do it. You know, like folks getting in a fight. They sitting there talking all that crap. You know, they don't really want to do it. They try to talk each other down. You know, the one that's going to be the bad one, they just going to step up and wallop you and walk away when you're on the ground. Yeah, that's me. That's being a Marine. That's being a warrior. You don't have to have the title Marine to be a warrior. I've seen a lot of warriors out there with a warrior's heart, men and women alike. They ain't going to tell you what they're going to do. They just do it. You know, a lot of them blowhards, good people, don't get me wrong. Good people. But folks don't talk trash if you ain't got the heart to follow through. You know, that's why I got out of all that. There ain't going to be nobody there to support you. They'll talk the talk. They can't walk the walk. They don't know how. They too soft-hearted. So, anyway, she's back. She got some snacks. I'm going to let her grab this. And let me go get out and pump that gas. Yeah.
Well, we'll call it a day then because we're looking at right at 20 minutes.
All right. Love y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Say bye, Piggy.
Bye.